Okay, today I've got 3 orange trees, and I'm fixing to take them. I'm going to repot them into some bigger pots. Now these are what you commonly call flying dragons, or they're also known as bitter orange and hardy orange. And they are a true orange tree, and they actually make oranges. They bloom, make actual oranges, but the oranges really aren't good for eating. They're very seedy. They have a lot of seeds in them. They're very bitter tasting. And they say some people make marmalades. That's the only real use I've heard of anyone using the oranges for, is to make maybe a marmalade, probably by adding a lot of sugar to it to make it taste good. But the unique thing about these, being a citrus tree, is that they're cold hardy down to -10 degrees, where normal citrus tree is cold hardy down to probably, I don't know, 35 to 40 degrees or something like that. And I'm in Texas, which it's hot in Texas. It's over 100 degrees here today. But in the wintertime, it does get down below freezing quite often, and sometimes it gets down in the teens and even occasionally down close to 0 degrees. The reason that I'm growing these trees is I want to grow orange, lemon, and lime trees on the rootstock of these trees. And the other big thing about these trees is the full mature height of these things is, it could be, depending on where you look, they say anywhere from 5 to 15 feet. If you just put them out in the ground and let them continually grow, maybe 5 to 15 feet. I'm going to grow my citrus trees in containers, which will dwarf them some, but I'll use the rootstock off of these, and it will dwarf the orange trees, the lemon trees, and the lime trees. So hopefully I'll end up with citrus trees that won't ever get more than maybe anywhere from 6 to 8 feet or something like that, maybe even smaller if I keep them in containers. So I'm going to take 2 of these trees and I'm going to grow them to maturity to where they start producing oranges, and that'll give me a supply of seeds to grow more of them. So my end goal here is to get as many of these plants as I can and use them for rootstock to produce regular dwarf orange, lemon, and lime trees. They're kind of hard to come across, especially here in Texas, because they can't be shipped into Texas because the laws won't allow any citrus to be imported into Texas to prevent disease from being brought in. I think that's true for Florida and Arizona and maybe some other states too. So I'm going to produce my own. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all 3 of them, I'm going to repot them into these 6-inch pots, and then I'm probably going to do a little bit of pruning on them. And so I'm going to go get reset up, get my soil ready, and we'll transplant them real quick. Okay, I got my soil, and I'm just using, this is just a regular potting mix. It's a Vigoro all-purpose. Just a combination of stuff, and it's got a little bit of fertilizer in it. I've used it for some other stuff and it works really good. So I'm going to take these and I'm going to plant them in here, and I'll probably fast forward through this because this is going to be kind of boring, and then we'll talk about the trees just a little bit more after I get done. Okay, I've got them all transplanted into bigger pots. Some of these, one of them, the root system wasn't very well established at all, but it should be fine. I could put it back in some good soil, I'll water it in, it should do fine. I'm going to take these things for at least for a week probably. I'm going to keep them inside under grow lights where I can really control the temperature and the soil levels and all that good on them, since it's so hot outside, just to make sure till I'll probably keep them in there till I see any kind of new growth coming out on them. Now the other thing that I'm going to do on these is I'm going to prune them back because I want them to branch a little bit. So I got this branch here on this one, and it's coming out here, and it's looks like it's got another branch taken off here. So I'm going to go ahead and prune this one back where it's similar in height to this other one. I'm going to prune it right there. go down. I don't see a node on there. Hopefully that thing will put out some new leaves on that. All I see are thorns. Hopefully there's some nodes in there somewhere. And then I'm going to take this one and I'm going to peel these 2 leaves here off, and I'm going to stick this one and see if I can get a rooted cutting off of this. I've read different people say that, you know, they've had good success with them. Some people say they've had terrible success with them, but I'm going to give it a try with all these cuttings that I'm taking off. So that one's good. I'm going to leave that one as it is. This one I'm going to do kind of the same thing. I got 2 leaf nodes here, so I'll take a cutting right here on this one, and then I'll peel these 2 leaves off and I'll stick this one. I already took one off, and tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and take this top off this one too. If I take it right here, I can make another cutting off of that one. I got 2 leaf nodes I can pull off here, and there's still 2 leaves on the top. So that one's good. And this one is a really crooked tree, but I got this long spiny thing here with no leaf nodes, but like I said, I don't know. That's an awful long stretch without any leaf nodes, and I don't know if there's hidden leaf nodes in there around those thorns, but I'm going to go ahead and stick it anyway and see what happens with it. And I got new growth coming out here, so I think I'm going to leave that one alone the way it is. So there's my 3 trees. So I'm going to water them in good, and I'm going to take them inside and put them under the grow lights, and then I'll do a follow-up video on my sticks and see how if they propagate and if they start developing roots or not. It'll probably be a while, because I'm guessing if they're going to, it's probably going to take them at least a month before they start growing any kind of roots. And then I'm also going to have another video too. I did order some seeds online, and I'm going to try those. I don't know how dried out they are. They say that's the issue with getting seeds on these things. If they're not fresh, they don't do very well. But I'm going to do another little video on the seeds. I'm going to try doing some in paper towels to see if they'll germinate, and I'll put some straight into soil. But we'll see how it goes. But anyway, so this is a start. So if I can get these trees to grow and do well and produce me some oranges, and I'll get some rootstock, and then I'll take one of these trees and actually try and graft it. Probably you're going to have to let it get a little bit bigger than what they are, but as soon as it gets bigger enough to do a grafting, then I'll try grafting a lemon or an orange or something onto one of these and see how it does, at least to test it. So anyway, that's it for now, but I'll do follow-up videos on how these are doing. Or if you want to go to my Instagram page, there's links down to the bottom in the description to my Instagram, and I'll do some follow-up pictures on how these things are doing. They start putting out new growth and stuff like that, and if they do substantially well enough, then I'll do a follow-up video on them too. I appreciate you watching. Please like, please subscribe, please share my videos. Thank you.